If you're a physician working long hours, hitting your RVU targets every single month, and you still feel like you're not getting ahead financially, this video is going to change how you see your career and your money forever. I'm going to show you exactly why RVU compensation model, the system your hospital or group uses to pay you, is quietly working against your long-term wealth. And more importantly, I'm going to show you a clear step-by-step path out of it. This is not about complaining about medicine. This is not about quitting your practice or your job. This is about understanding a financial trap that nobody in your residency, your fellowship, or your hospital has ever warned you about. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Here's the hard truth. Most physicians are high earners, but high income is not the same as wealth. There is a massive difference between the two. And the RVU system is specifically designed in a way that keeps you earning, but never truly building. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why that is. You will understand the 5-step framework to break out of it. And I will show you the real numbers, so this is not just theory. It is a strategy you can act on. So let's get into it. First, let me make sure we are on the same page about what an RVU actually is. RVU stands for Relative Value Unit. It is a unit of measurement that Medicare and most private insurers use to assign a dollar value to every medical service you perform. A routine office visit might be worth 1 or 2 RVUs. A complex procedure might be worth 10 or 15. Your employer essentially takes those RVUs, multiplies them by a conversion factor, usually somewhere between $45 and $60 per RVU, depending on your specialty and your contract, and that becomes your paycheck. Sounds fair, right? You work more, you earn more. But here's where that trap begins. The RVU model ties your entire income to your physical presence and your personal productivity. Every dollar you earn requires you to show up, see patients, document, bill, and repeat. The moment you stop, whether that is a vacation, a health issue, God forbid, a burnout period, or eventually retirement, the income stops too. That is not wealth. That is a very well-paid job with no off switch. Now, here's the deeper problem. Most physicians start their careers in their early to mid-40s. After 4 years of medical school and 3 to 7 years of residency and fellowship, you are already behind your peers in other industries by a decade in terms of wealth accumulation. You have student loan debt, often between $200,000 and $400,000. You have a lifestyle that expanded to match your new attending salary. And you have a very little time or energy left over to think strategically about money. This is what the white coat investor community calls the doctor wealth gap. You earn a lot, but you start late, you spend a lot, you get taxed heavily, and you have no assets generating income while you sleep. And the RVU system accelerates that problem because it rewards volume over strategy. It rewards doing more procedures, seeing more patients, working more hours. It never rewards you for building something that works without you. And here's the reframe that changes everything. Wealthy people do not just earn income, they build assets. An asset is something that generates income whether you are working or not. And a rental property generates rent on a Tuesday night while you are sleeping. A well-structured commercial real estate investment sends distributions to your bank account whether you saw 20 patients that day or 0. That is the gap between a high-earning physician and a truly wealthy one. And closing that gap requires you to stop putting all your energy into RVU production and start directing a portion of your capital into income-producing assets. So how do you actually do this? Here's the 5-step framework I want to walk you through. Step 1 is awareness, and you're already doing it right now. The first step is simply understanding that your compensation model has a structural ceiling. Your RVU rate is set by someone else. Your conversion factor is negotiated by administrators. Medicare reimbursement rates have been declining in real terms for years. The American Medical Association has documented this consistently. You're working harder for the same or less purchasing power. Recognizing this is not pessimism, it is clarity, and clarity is where strategy begins. Step 2 is getting your financial foundation in order. Before you invest in anything, you need to know your actual numbers. What is your monthly take home after taxes? Can you answer that? What are your fixed expenses? What is your current debt load and interest rate? What are you actually saving each month? Most physicians are surprised when they sit down and do this exercise, honestly. The IRS taxes W-2 physician income at some of the highest marginal rates in the country, often 35 to 37% at the federal level alone before state taxes. That means a physician earning $400,000 gross may take home somewhere between $220,000 or $250,000 after taxes. That is still a strong income, but it is not $400,000. And if lifestyle expenses are high, that actual investable surplus can be surprisingly thin. Step 2 is about creating a surplus intentionally and consistently that you redirect into assets. Step 3 is understanding the power of passive real estate income. Real estate, specifically income producing commercial and residential real estate, is one of the most time-tested vehicles for building long-term wealth outside of active income. According to data both from CBRE and JLL, two of the largest commercial real estate research firms in the world, commercial real estate has historically delivered total returns averaging 7 to 10% annually over long holding periods, combining both income and appreciation. But here's what makes it especially powerful for physicians specifically. The IRS tax code, particularly sections around depreciation and passive income, creates significant advantages for real estate investors. Depreciation is a non-cash deduction. That means the IRS allows you to deduct the theoretical wear and tear of a property from your taxable income, even if the property is actually appreciating in value. Firms like KBKG specialize in something called cost segregation studies, which accelerate those depreciation deductions and can create larger paper losses that offset your active income legally. That is a tool that RVU production will never give you. Step 4 is choosing the right investment structure for a busy physician. You do not have to have time to be a landlord. You do not have time to field maintenance calls or manage tenants, and you do not need to. The investment structure that works best for physicians is passive investing, either through real estate syndications or private real estate funds. A syndication is simply a group investment. A sponsor, an experienced operator, finds a property, negotiates the deal, manages the asset, and handles everything operationally. You invest capital as a limited partner, you receive quarterly distributions, you benefit from the depreciation, and when the property sells, you receive your share of the appreciation. Bigger Pockets and the white coat investor community have both documented this model extensively. It is not new, it is not exotic, it is how a significant portion of physician wealth gets built quietly, outside of the hospital system. Step 5 is consistency and compounding. That is the step most people skip, because it requires patience, but it is the most powerful one. If you invest $50,000 into a well-structured real estate syndication targeting a 7% annual cash-on-cash return, that is $3,500 per year in passive distributions. That does not sound like life-changing money on its own, but if you do that consistently, deploying investable capital into passive assets, every 1 to 2 years, something remarkable happens over 10 to 15 year window. The income compounds, the equity builds, and eventually you have a portfolio generating meaningful passive income that exists completely independent of how many RVUs you produced last quarter. Now, let me make this concrete with a quick example. Say you're a hospitalist or a cardiologist earning $350,000 gross per year. After federal and state taxes, you take home roughly $220,000. Whether your fixed living expenses, mortgage, car, kids' school, insurance, run about $150,000 to $140,000 per year. That leaves $70,000 per year in potential investable surplus. Now, instead of letting that sit in a savings account earning 2%, you redirect $50,000 of it into a passive real estate investment, a multifamily syndication, or a medical office building fund, for example, Marcus and Millichap and PwC research both consistently highlight multifamily and medical office as two of the most resilient asset classes in commercial real estate, with strong occupancy rates and stable long-term demand. Over 5 years, at a conservative 7% cash on cash, that 50,000 generates roughly about 17,500 in passive distributions alone, before any equity appreciation or tax benefits from appreciation. And if you repeat that process annually, adding one new position per year, by year 10, you have a portfolio that is generating passive income in the range of 40 to 60,000 per year. That is not your entire income, but it is income that shows up whether you worked for that month or not. Now, let me address the 3 objections I hear most often. I don't have time to learn all of this, and you do not need to become an expert. Passive investing means exactly that, passive. Your job is to vet sponsors carefully, understand the basic structure of a deal, and deploy capital. The operator does the rest. This is not a second career, it is a second income stream. But what if the real estate market drops? Real estate is not immune to cycles, that is true. But long-term hold strategies in well-located assets with strong fundamentals have historically recovered and continue to appreciate. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis economic data shows that in the US, commercial real estate values have trended upward over every significant 10-year period since the 1980s. Diversification across asset types and geographies further reduces risk. I have too much student loan debt to invest right now, and this is a real tension and it deserves a real answer. High interest debt should be addressed first. But if your loans are on an income-driven repayment plan or at a manageable interest rate, waiting until every dollar of the debt is gone before you invest means potentially losing a decade of compounding. The strategy is balance, not either or. Now, let me paint you a picture of what the other side of this looks like. Imagine it is 10 years from now, you're still practicing medicine, but now you have a choice. You're not showing up because you have to hit an RVU target to pay your bills. You are showing up because you want to, because you love patient care, because it is your calling. Meanwhile, your real estate portfolio is generating 40 to 60,000 a year in passive distributions. Your depreciation benefits have reduced your tax burden meaningfully over the years. Your net worth has grown not just from saving, but from assets that worked while you slept. That is the physician who escaped the RVU trap, not by leaving medicine, but by building something alongside it. Here is your challenge for this week. Sit down and calculate your actual investable surplus. Not what you think it is. I want you to truly sit down. What is it actually after taxes and expenses? Then ask yourself honestly, where is that money going right now? Is it sitting in a savings account? Is it going into a 401k that you have not reviewed in 2 years? Or is it being deployed into assets that can generate income independently of your RVU count? That one exercise done honestly is the first real step out of that trap. Now, if you want to go deeper on everything I just covered, I have put together some free resources specifically for physicians and professionals who are busy, who want to build long-term passive income through real estate without becoming full-time landlords and without taking on unnecessary risk. Head over to www.cardiarei.com. When you get there, you can download 2 free ebooks that I wrote, one about taxes, one about syndications, that break down the fundamentals of passive real estate investing in plain language. No fluff, no filler. Now, just the core concepts you need to get started with more confidence. You will also get access to a free 9-part private training called the Passive Investing Action Guide that I also created. Inside that training, I walk you through the exact framework that serious long-term investors use to build reliable passive income through real estate, step by step. It covers how to evaluate deals, how to vet operators, how to think about tax strategy, and how to build a portfolio that grows with you over time. It is completely free. There's literally no strings or catch to it. It's something that I created that I wish I would have had when I first got started. It is designed specifically for busy professionals like you who have capital perhaps to deploy, but not hours to waste. And it picks up right after, or right where rather, this video leaves off. So if you're serious about looking into this and learning more, the description and the link is below. I'll see you in the next video.